Hello and warm welcome to the We Don't Have Time Climate Hub. Coming live to you here from Baku, from the COP Conference of the Parties. And we're on our 5th day of broadcasting, and we're right next to the Caspian Sea, and we're having a great time here at the studio interviewing lots of guests.
We've got a wonderful series of conversations lined up for you today. We're going to hear about the exponential solutions that must be applied to phasing out fossil fuels in the very short time available and left. And Catarina will be hosting an absolutely fascinating discussion on China's role in solving the climate crisis.
But before we continue, I'd like to turn to Ingmar Rentzhog, the CEO and co-founder. We Don't Have Time. What are your impressions so far from the COP?
My impression is both very optimistic, positive, and quite pessimistic. and now I'm not talking about the negotiations because they are kind of in the dark. We don't really know yet how that is going. I'm talking about like the mood here on the ground. And I start with the pessimistic. I was speaking at a finance panel yesterday with a lot of impact investors in the room. I usually ask this question that do you believe that we're going to be able to halve the emission before the year 2030? That's what we need to do according to science to be on the safe side of tipping points. And currently we're kind of flattening out in the year 2024, so we don't have many years left to achieve this halving, but it's not impossible. And in a room full of more than 100 investors focusing on impact, only 2 people raised their hands. I don't understand how you can invest in something if you don't believe that it will succeed. That is kind of a little bit contradicting. Of course we can and must achieve this, and that's the positive news. I were yesterday in a room where Al Gore and Governor Jane Inslee, Washington governor, and they were fired up. No matter if Donald Trump entered the White House, the green transition in US are unstoppable. And they got this enormous applause from the audience while saying that. So maybe Donald Trump can achieve what he did last time he was elected. He can mobilize people to fight harder, because we need to fight harder. 2 hands in a room of 100 investors believing in the future they invest in is not fighting hard. So I really would like to give some commercial about watching this Al Gore session. We will air it at the end of today's broadcast. Don't miss that, because you want to be empowered by Al Gore and Jay Inslee. And it's also Innovation Day today. So they presented not just that they were fired up talking about climate action, they actually presented concrete solution where there's a new data page where we can see exactly where all the emissions are happening in real time. Everything from carbon dioxide to pollution to methane. And regarding methane, we have our own campaign here that's called Buy More Time. And that campaign is a concrete solution on how we can achieve this halving goal by not only focusing on carbon dioxide, but also focusing on the short-lived climate gases. So if you're curious about Buy More Time, and if you want to raise your hand next time someone like me asks the question if we're going to make it, go to wedon'time.org/buymore time.
Thank you, Ingmar.
Yeah, super. So as many people know who have been watching our shows since the beginning of COP29, we're placing a special emphasis on methane and a campaign that we've called Buy More Time. And we're trying to basically encourage people to understand but also get involved in the fact that if we can really cut back the emissions of methane very quickly right now, we might stand a chance of halving emissions by 2030. So,
would you like to add anything, Ingmar, just about the Buy More Time campaign?
I think I said it all, but I can just add that focusing on short-lived climate gases, why is that so important? Because the difference between long-lived climate gases like carbon dioxide and short-lived, long-lived climate gases, if you put them up there, they will be up in the atmosphere for up to 1,000 years. So the only way to get the temperature down is to remove them. That is insanely costly, and we don't have it scalable yet. and we really can't afford put down everything we have put up there. But for short-lived climate gases, such as methane, that is the biggest problem, if you stop emitting it, it will disappear from the atmosphere in just a couple of years by itself. So we don't need to remove short-lived climate gases. We just need to put it up there. And the thing with methane is that it's kind of easy to get rid of it. And it's not that expensive. We just need to focus on it. And what the Buy More Time campaign is all about is to initiate something similar to the Montreal Protocol in the UN system that saved humanity for the ozone crisis. Now we can save humanity again. So let's do it again. You will have more information about this on the We Don't Time website, and you will hear more about this subject throughout our broadcast.
Well, thank you very much indeed, Ingmar. Let's move on.